Hey, Genius, what's up? Sean here, one of the co-hosts of Digital Genius Radio. Super excited to be here. This is part 2 with Aaron Ellis, the guy who has become a millionaire in several different industries. You're not going to want to miss this. This is where it gets really juicy. So I hope you enjoy this episode. We'll see you on the inside. Welcome to Digital Genius Radio, the #1 podcast focused on guiding you to becoming a certified digital genius. We believe you can have it all by mastering social media paid advertising. We spent the last 3 years studying the most brilliant marketers today and applying their techniques. We've broken free of the 9-to-5 and successfully built a 7-figure online certification platform. From working with hundreds of clients, we found that most are overwhelmed or scared to actually dive into paid advertising. And this podcast is here to give you the cheat codes so you can flourish with your social media channels. Join us and follow along as we continue to learn, apply, and share proven strategies, as well as give you the insights on how to win online with social media paid advertising. And now, here's your hosts, Chris Baden and Sean Malone.
So, moving right along. Remember this picture, orange. Let's talk about responsive and reactive now, okay? I have an orange here. Any time in life that you are reactive, you feel upset, you feel angry, you feel frustrated, you feel sad, you feel like you want to avoid, fearful, doubtful, they did this, oh my gosh, something about somebody bothers you, something is said, it is 100% about you, not about them. If you did not have something inside of you that needed to work on, it would pass right through you and you wouldn't even notice it. Take, for example, driving down the road, 2 people, let's say they're driving the same car, they're the same age, they're going to the same office for work. One of them's driving around singing like crazy. The other person's cussing everybody on the road going, who's taught these people how to drive? How'd they get a license? I can't believe they're driving right now. It's subjective, guys. It's how they're showing up and flowing. They're reacting because something in them needs to be looked at. Somewhere they are not yet free, okay? Remember that. So what does that have to do with an orange? This is a lesson that I do with people. If I take this orange right now and I squeeze it, I know what you guys are going to say, but if I squeeze it, what am I going to get? Orange juice. Right? Apple juice? Nope. Orange juice. Now, what if I smash it with my hand? Is it going to be anything but orange juice? I'm going to look over here at Chris and Sean to say, is it going to be orange juice still? Give me a thumbs up, guys. Yep. Now, let's say I put it on the ground and I stomp on it angry. I stomp on it when I'm angry. Is it going to still be orange juice or is it going to turn to apple juice then? Orange juice, right? Now, what if I cuss at it at the same time? You stupid orange, I can't believe you suck, blah, 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 and I crush it. Is it going to change or is it still going to give me orange juice?
Well, then it will be funny and orange juice.
Exactly. I'm going to do a video of this, kind of like, what's that guy who breaks the watermelons? I want to do it that kind of style. I have this whole vision for that. So anyway, I've talked to people about this because guess what? What you have inside of you is what you give away. If you have anger, frustration, fear, doubt inside of you and somebody triggers you and you react to them, you're giving away what you have inside you. It has nothing to do with them, okay? It has to do with somewhere in you that is not yet free, somewhere that the light needs to be shined on, a closet you need to clean out, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Do people trigger you and say stuff to upset you? Absolutely, and it's a gift. It's life saying, hey, here's where you're not yet free. I'm going to bring Lisa into the mix right here, and she's going to tick you off, and she's going to piss you off, and you're going to get really angry at her, and you're going to hate her for a week, and guess what? That's a gift, okay? Now, I had somebody tell me this once. They said, well, you don't understand, Aaron. I was actually working through with an issue with somebody. They made it personal, Aaron. They made it personal. So it can be personal. They can be trying to hurt me. So it's not just about me. They are trying to do it. They made it personal. I said, okay, let me look at this orange. Oh my God, orange, you suck. You have orange skin and it's all bumpy. I like apples that are smooth and red, and you suck because you're bumpy and orange and crushed. Crap, it's still orange juice. I made it personal, but it's still orange juice. Okay? All right, that's why that orange is there, guys. Think about that. Okay, who's ready for a paradigm shift? I want to see in the chat. Yes, 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 if you're ready for a paradigm shift. If you don't know what a paradigm shift is, I'm going to tell you in a second. Awesome. Everything I've been doing here is the opportunity for a paradigm shift for you. Okay, I'm going to apply what I'm saying now to money. and give you an exact example about this, okay? So a paradigm shift, a fundamental change in an individual's or a society's view of how things work in the world, okay? This is a different view on life, okay? Now, you guys ready for this? Might triggle. Maybe that was my way of saying tickle and trigger, you know, because triggers are fun, right? Who knows? All right, so money is a result. It is a utility and it is a result, okay? It is not a why, but Aaron, I need money. So that's my why. No, money is a result. Financial freedom is not a why, it is a result. It is somewhere you get, I want to spend time with my family. That is a result that you are seeking, not a reason why, okay? If that is your outer why right now, that's awesome, guys. Those are very motivating. We want to get you to inspiration to where no matter what, you are able to achieve those because you shifted your flow, you showed up different, and then you get to actually enjoy the results, expand the results, feel fulfilled, okay? So money is a result. Now, let me take this a little deeper, and heads are probably going to be like this. Money is never lost or gained. Here's where the paradigm shift comes in, guys, and I'm going to explain this, okay? It is money, the loss of gain of money is a result of what is lost or gained in how we show up and flow through life. Okay, so let me give you an exact example of this, okay? In my trading, don't get hung up on this being a different arena than what you're doing because everything is about everything. Most people learn to synthesize, chop up, but they forget, or excuse me, they learn to analyze, chop up, but they forget to synthesize. Everything is everything, guys. Everything I'm talking about is about everywhere in life, okay? In my trading, I once exited a trade intuitively. I was teaching people about intuition. I had a signal that told me not to exit, but I exited, right? And I exited at 35.67, okay? Keep that number in your head. Can somebody write down, type in 35.67 in the chat, okay? I was on a call, my morning accountability call with my partner, Shane Carling, who you guys are seeing today, okay? We talked a little bit. And as we were talking, the price was going up. He's like, dude, are you going to get back into the trade? It's going up. It's like over, I think it was over 30, hitting 3,700. No, for some reason I'm not. But my God, you have this, this is this much money, right? No, I'm not. And then we kept talking. And then it went over 3,800. Dude, are you going to get back in? For some reason I'm not, right? Okay, now most people would go like this. Because they're focused on what? They'd say, screw that, screw this system, screw Aaron's intuitions, and all this kind of stuff. Screw what he's saying because I just lost a bunch of money. I just blah, 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 blah. They don't know what he's talking about. Blah, it sucks, and I don't know what I'm doing. Or they would go down the path. I don't have any idea what I'm doing. I'm never going to figure this out. One way or another, they're against or they're against themselves. They're blaming or they're blaming themselves. Okay? Now, listen. It's a result of what is lost or gained. Through that day, I was like, I wonder why I got out of that trade. And it's still going up, right? Reached almost 3,900, okay? Wonder why I'm getting out of this trade, right? I'm open. Thought comes to mind. I'm playing with my daughter. Go apply this new skill set. I don't like doing that. Things are tough for me to learn. I don't like doing new things that I don't understand. This is the story in my head, right? A little bit later in the day, go apply that new skill set you learned. Same thing, condition. I don't learn things too quick. That's intellectual. I'm right-brained. I could write a song about it, all that kind of stuff. The story that I told for years, right? Came up again. Okay, something's going on here in my head. What do I need to do here? Something is being presented here. There's a lesson here, okay? So I still didn't do it. Got in bed that night. It's 9 o'clock or so. My daughter finally goes to sleep. Go apply the new skill set. Pops into my head. I'm like, but I'm already in bed. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm so cozy. My daughter snuggled up against me. Louder and louder and louder. Okay, fine. Got up. I went. I don't get hung up on what I did, but I did what's called a stop buy order. I had never done one before. I had a little understanding of it. I entered a stop buy order at 35.50 and I went to bed. How did I come up with 35.50? I don't know. It just popped into my head. And part of me was just, I'm going to just get through this because I don't know what I'm doing and I want to go to sleep. 35.50. Okay. The next morning, I woke up. The price had dropped to 35.47 during the night, okay, and shot back up over 3,900. I don't know if you guys are figuring this out yet. So I stepped out of something. I followed my intuition. I followed my inner flow, my inner voice, and took a direction that everybody told me I was crazy. It's stupid. It doesn't work. And most people are triggered like, oh my God, because they come in with a fear of loss of money because they don't understand money. Like, oh my God, you lost money. I know you lost money. They get all upset, right? Now, what did I gain? Because money is a result of what we gain. And it's also a result of what we lose. If I would have just jumped back in, I would have basically avoided the lesson that I learned, which was working through a pattern, a story in my head that kept me from applying a new skill set that came up half a dozen times during the day to where I didn't even want to get out of bed, but I finally worked through that, okay? And I went, which is a pattern I worked through, an unconscious pattern, how I was showing up and flowing, right? And then I went and actually applied a new skill set, okay? Okay, so what I gained from stepping out of that was broke through a pattern that was limiting for me. I learned and refined a new skill set. And not always, guys, but if you can do the math, I actually made more money by getting out of the trade, learning that skill set, going through what I just explained to you than I would if I would have stayed in the trade. Because I entered lower than I had exited. Now, don't get hung up on that, guys. What I'm saying is that money is a result of what we gain and what we lose in life. So what is the lost part, Aaron? What does that mean? If I wouldn't have taken the time to stick with what I heard my inner voice say, because my intellect was telling me I was crazy, everybody else was telling me I was crazy, what I knew was telling me I was crazy, but I always remember there's way more that I know that I don't know that I don't know, right? All the realistic, analytical knowledge, all that stuff was telling me I was wrong, but I stayed open because I know that knowledge is nothing unless I'm showing up and flowing through it in a responsive way. If I would have reacted, I would have lost the pattern that I worked through. I would have lost the opportunity to learn that skill set and apply it, and I would have lost money. Okay? It's a result of how we show up and flow through life, guys. It's never anything more than that. Any results that you've gotten with money so far is simply a result of how you've been showing up in life. And put it on biology if that makes you feel better, because it's true. You have been taught through your surroundings, through what people have told you, through what people have conditioned you through, everybody had good intentions. Nobody's actually trying to screw you up. You don't get born, your parents go, we're going to screw her up and make her have money troubles and relationship troubles and this trouble. We don't do that. I don't do that with my daughter, right? I'll tell you what I do though, and what her and her mom and I do is we look for areas where we're not being congruent in what we're saying to her and what we're doing and what we're thinking. Because if we don't take the time to do that, we can say whatever we want and we will live the prophecy that says children don't learn by what you say, they learn by what you do. And we would basically be saying, okay, Orlando, we love you, but we're going to set you up for counseling in life and for this phase in your life where you have no idea what you want to do and you're going to feel so broken and confused and you're going to go through this process of you maybe go to college and you can't pick a major, so you get a double major and then you drop out. Guys, we're not going to allow that. There's nothing wrong with people who do go through that path because why? Life happens for you. Everything is perfect as it is. Okay? All right. So biologically, now that you're aware, you can bring in that aspect to it. It's basically been how you showed up that has dictated your results of money. Okay? And whether it's a lot of money or a little money, it's a result of what you've been doing. A lot of times it's skill set. A lot of times it's internal. External skill set, internal skill set. Awareness into yourself. Where am I not yet free? What patterns have I been living? Where am I personally responsible for creating this in my life? What am I denying? What am I triggered by? What am I upset about? You know what I mean? My parents taught me that that music was not, by the way, they were both educators. My mom was a developmental psychologist, a psychology professor. So put that into the mix with my life, okay? And my dad was a teacher, and he went back to school to provide better for his family, but they were both educators, so they were locked in on that path, right? And I dropped out of high school to be a rock star. How do you think they felt? Okay? They didn't see me perform for 10 years because of that. Then when they did, my dad is in tears, apologized for that. But he doesn't need to apologize. I did blame him for a time, but I don't blame him anymore. You know what I mean? So there's things that you need to look at in yourself. Doesn't mean you need to go a deep dive and figure out what, you don't have to do it like I am yet. You don't have to say where am I not yet free, or you can, okay? It's just a matter of being open to where you're not yet free, being open to where you've actually created the circumstances that you're living, okay? All right, let's go into a little bit deeper here and let's talk about some wise people in history. So how we show up and flow through what we do, all of life determines our results. New flow, new results. Okay? Then I'm doing good on time, guys. I only have a couple more minutes. We still good? Okay, cool. So let's talk about this guy right here. Anybody know who that is? This is Einstein. He says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Do you think that he means, okay, if you failed at one online business, then if you just go find a new online business, then you're going to succeed? Do you think he means that if you failed at Pilates, if you go do kickboxing, then you're going to succeed? No, he's talking about how you show up and flow through life. If you study him, the way he phrases things and looks at life and everything and failure, he understands failure is just a stepping stone to success. He's talking about by the way, this is my beautiful little girl. This is Berlin, guys. So he's talking about exactly what I'm talking about. But these are some of those statements, some of those quotes that we just say and never really fully take the time to understand. Okay? All right? Now, I want to bring up another person from history. And this one is intentionally meant to trigger some of you guys because I want you to take a deep breath after you're triggered, if you are triggered, and realize that sometimes you miss the whole message because of a trigger. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. How you show up and flow through life keeps you from actually the benefits of life, okay? Which keeps you from those results that you're seeking, okay? So I want to give another example of wisdom in history that talks about flow and does not talk about the what. It's not about intellect, and I'm going to give the example. But I'm going to give everybody a second to be triggered for a moment, just in case you are. This isn't to say you need to, this is not a religious talk, guys, but some of you guys will make it a religious talk just because of the picture I put up. So I want you guys to take a deep breath and realize that some of you might be triggered. You might have, some of you guys might love it. Some of you got, you're triggered in a good way and yay, Jesus, or you're triggered in a bad way. Like, oh, problems from my past, I want you guys to realize that now and just take a deep breath and listen to what I have to say here. This is about flow, and you can find this in any teaching, whether it be religious teaching, whether it be teachings on nature, laws of success, period. They're everywhere, guys, okay? Some of you guys might know this story. And again, this is to show you flow, nothing more. So take out any of the equation that keeps you from hearing what I have to say. Peter came to Jesus and said, how many times should I forgive my brother? 7 times? And Jesus said, not 7, but 70 times 7. Okay, so let's go back to what I was talking about, reactive, and I don't like, I'm in pain, I want pleasure, I want to be happy, I don't want to be unhappy anymore. So if I figure out the right what, then I'm going to finally get away from the pain, and I'm going to finally get to what I want. So Peter went to Jesus and he said, what do I need to do? Not 7 times, but 70 times 7. So do you know what Peter did? This is what he did. He went and he got a spreadsheet in Excel. He made 490 boxes on there because he knew 70 times 7. As soon as he forgave 490 times, because that's 70 times 7, that's the formula, that's the what, that he would actually feel that relief of forgiveness finally for his brother, right? If he just followed the what, the 490 times, because that's obviously what Jesus was talking about. No, he was not talking about that. He was talking about flow. He was talking about forgiveness in the sense of just understanding the entire context that life is happening for you, that people have their own pain. People are going, offer compassion, offer understanding. He's not talking about making a spreadsheet and doing 490 times. He's not talking about what. Now, is it anything wrong with that we immediately go there with other areas of our life? No, we've been programmed to, okay? We've been programmed to think that if we find the right what, across the board, guys, exercise, health, diet plans, businesses, relationships, then we will finally be happy. It's not true. It's how we show up and flow through those things. All right, guys? That's basically what I'm going to be doing the training on an even deeper dive. So if you're going, oh crap, this was so deep. Guess what, guys? That's great. Repetition. Watch this replay. Every time you do, you will show up different. You will become aware of more and more and more. One little story on that before I pass this back and we do whatever's next. I had been reading a book. There's a Zen proverb that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I've been reading a book. This isn't the actual book, but I was reading a book, right? And then I lost it in a move. I'd read it 3 times, by the way. I've read some books 30 times, and they're fresh because I'm fresh. I'm showing up differently because I've grown, right? So I was reading. I have people tell me, like, I already read it. I don't need to read it again. I'm like, yeah, you do. For that reason alone, you need to read it again. So I'm reading this book, right? And I read, I'm like, well, I don't remember. I bought the book again, mind you, because I'd lost it. I'm like, I don't remember reading that before. This was actually before and the moment of Satori, the aha moment where I realized when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I'm like, I haven't read this. You know what? This is probably a newer version. Let's see when this one was printed. Oh, this is the only version. This is the actual, it hasn't been reprinted. I don't remember that reading this before. Let me read this again. Duh, oh my God. The student wasn't ready the first 3 times I read it. But my brain went to what? Well, it must be a different version of the book. No, sometimes it has been, but it wasn't in that sense. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, guys. So let me walk you through Carving a New Groove, filling in the old one, knowing that wherever you're at is perfect and it's wonderful. And that's part of the process. And I'm just going to pass this back to these guys and flow from there.
Thanks for listening to Digital Genius Radio. We'd love it if you could share our podcast with 3 others that you think could get some value from it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And remember, hit that notifications button so we can alert you for each new episode that comes out. You're on your way. You've gained knowledge and you've gotten smarter. You're becoming a certified digital genius. To continue on the right path, go to challenge.digitalgeniusradio.com and prove you have what it takes. Again, that's challenge.digitalgeniusradio.com. Enter your name and email and get started becoming a master of your own destiny.